Between what young Canadians are learning about sex education and what they are seeking from it. And it could have deadly consequences. The organization Let's Stop AIDS finds young Canadians are reverting to risky behavior in the bedroom. Joining me is Shamin Mohamed Jr. He is the founder and president of Let's Stop AIDS. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me here today.
You know, we've been talking about AIDS now and HIV for decades. Does it still frustrate you that we still have to remind people of its existence?
So I started Let's Stop AIDS when I was 15, and it's 19 years since I founded it, and there's still so much more awareness that's needed to be discussed about HIV and AIDS, especially in our country.
Now, your survey that your organization conducted recently found that 2 out of 3 young Canadians felt that sex education did not actually prepare them for sex. That must disturb you.
Absolutely, and this is our second edition of the Sex Lives Report, focusing on the impact of sex ed on the sexual behaviors of young Canadians, and it really delved into young people's relationships with their sexuality, engaged our knowledge on HIV and STI prevention. It really was loud and clear to us that the conventional methods of addressing sexuality are obsolete. More in today's age, we realize there's a lot of value on equality, diversity, respect. There was a lot of really shocking moments in this report that of what's missing in Canada's sex ed.
Speaking of which, also from the survey, 1 in 4 Canadians who got an STI did not seek treatment for it.
Yeah, and this is extremely concerning because 80%, on top of that, 80% of young Canadians do not engage in regular STI and HIV testing. And as you said, 1 in 4 young Canadians who do get tested don't actually seek out treatment. We strongly believe that this is due to a lack of access, a lack of knowledge. If we don't create a comprehensive sexual journey and opportunity for young people, it creates a culture of fear and lack of access of service to discuss these topics openly. And it has to come on both levels. It has to come from our federal and provincial government, but also on a community level from our schools, from our community organizations, and the individuals around us.
Meantime, there is a movement amongst many parents to suppress the discussion of sexuality, sexual identity, even banning books and that sort of thing in schools for primary age kids. I wonder, what do you think will be the end result of that?
We've seen this happen in other parts of the world, and we've seen that when you restrict information, it actually leads to further misinformation that isn't backed by reliable sources. 6 in 10 young Canadians cite that their primary source for sexual health information is the internet. And if it wasn't the internet, it was their friends. It's extremely critical for us as an organization to ensure that there's reliable, trusting information, such as in our curriculums, in our school system, so that people feel comfortable to talk about these topics. For some households, talking about sex is completely normal in their households. But for some, this is still a very taboo topic. And to have a space where young people are going to have sex at some point in their sexual journey, it's really important that they're empowered and have this reliable, trusting information so they can make an informed decision. And if something goes in a way where they have a potential exposure to an STI or HIV, they know what steps to take and how to take action.
Now, there is a goal to eradicate HIV and AIDS by the year 2030. Is that still achievable? And if it is achievable, will you be happy to be out of a job?
So the dream is that we could have a big celebration to say that we've done it. The thing is that with COVID, it's taught us that there's a lack of access, and there's a lot of work that has to be done to beat stigma in terms of talking about HIV. Just for example, in terms of lack of knowledge, less than 5% of respondents from this survey said they knew anything about PrEP, which is a pill that you can take every day to lower your chances of getting HIV to 0. They also didn't know much about other preventative methods that are available or testing methods that are available. I strongly feel that if we engage young people in meaningful opportunities and they're involved from the beginning throughout the process, the work and efforts that an organization like Let's Stop AIDS is doing will be much more successful than it coming just from one level of government or community or curriculum. It has to be a multi-tiered approach, and just as we are a connected country and community, we need the same approach when we look and think about sexual health.
All right, well, thanks very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
All right, take care. And for more information, you can go online to letsstopaids.org. They're also on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube.